Hi, Aries. Welcome back to Moonveil Tarot. And if you're new here, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, so I want to do something different at the start of this reading because this specific title, deserves more than just jumping straight into cards. It deserves a conversation first, a real one, because what I am about to describe is something that I think a lot of people have experienced and not had language for. And once you have the language for it, everything makes sense in a way it never did before. So, have you ever met someone and within a very short time felt like they understood you completely? Like, this person sees me, this person gets me, this person feels like looking in a mirror, and the feeling was so strong, so rare, so specific that you thought this has to be a soul connection. This has to be destiny because nothing else explains how quickly this felt like home. And then slowly or suddenly something shifted and you started to realize that the reflection was not quite right, that the mirror was showing you what you wanted to see, not what was actually there, and the ground moved under your feet. That experience has a name in the spiritual world. It is called soul mirroring, and it is one of the most sophisticated forms of deception that exists in human relationships because it does not target your weakness, it targets your strength specifically. It targets the most beautiful parts of you, your openness, your depth, your genuine desire for real connection, and it uses those things against you by creating the illusion that the person you are longing to find has finally arrived. And I want to say something very clearly right here before we pull a single card. If you recognized yourself in what I just described, if a specific person came to mind, please know that being mirrored, being found by someone like this, does not say anything bad about you. It says something very specific about them, and it also says something beautiful about you. Because the people who get targeted by soul mirrors are almost always the most genuinely loving, the most spiritually open, the most deeply feeling people in any room. Because those are the people whose reflection is worth stealing. And now something is happening that I want to show you through the cards today because the universe, in its perfect timing, has decided that the protection this woman has been operating under is being removed. And what happens when a soul mirror loses her spiritual cover is one of the most significant and honestly one of the most just things I have ever seen come through in a reading. So take a deep breath, settle in, maybe close your eyes for just a moment, and think of her, the woman this reading is about. Feel whatever you feel when you think of her, and then open your eyes because we are going into this together. Okay, I am doing something special with the card structure today. I am reading this in 3 chapters. Chapter 1, who she was and what she did. Chapter 2, what is happening to her now. And chapter 3, what this means for you going forward. Because I think that structure is going to allow us to really honor the full weight of this message. Chapter 1, who she was and what she did. Pulling now 4 cards for the full picture of who she actually is. The Magician reversed, the Moon, the 7 of Swords, and the Queen of Swords reversed. Okay, so the Magician reversed the Moon, the 7 of Swords, and the Queen of Swords reversed all 4 of these together for who she actually is. And I want to walk through each of these slowly because each one adds a layer to the complete picture. the Magician reversed first. And I want to talk about this card for a moment because the Magician upright is one of the most powerful cards in the entire tarot. The Magician upright is someone who has genuine gifts, genuine perception, genuine skill, and uses all of those things to create something real and meaningful in the world, but reversed, the Magician becomes something else entirely. Reversed, the Magician is someone who takes those same gifts, that same perception, that same skill at reading people and situations, and directs them entirely toward manipulation. And what is so important to understand about the reversed Magician is that the skill is real. She is genuinely perceptive. She genuinely reads people well. She genuinely understands what people need to hear and feel and see in order to trust. But she uses that understanding not to serve people, but to serve herself. And that gap between the gift and its misuse is where the soul mirroring lives. And then the moon in this position, for who she actually is showing me the private world behind the mirror. And what the moon shows me is that the woman she presents to the world and the woman she actually is are so different that they might as well be two separate people. Like the warmth she performs, the depth she performs, the connection she performs lives entirely on the surface and underneath in the private landscape of who she actually is. It is much colder, much more calculated, much more focused on what can I get from this? What does this person have that I can use? How long before I need to move on? And she has been maintaining that gap for so long that it has become effortless. She does not even have to think about it anymore. And then the Seven of Swords, which is the strategic deception card, the card of someone who takes things that do not belong to them and moves before anyone notices. And what the Seven of Swords is specifically showing me is the pattern. Like, this is not the first time she has done this, and it may not be the last. She has a pattern of finding people who are spiritually open, emotionally generous, deeply feeling, studying them, mirroring them, extracting what she needs, and then moving on and leaving behind a specific kind of confusion that makes the person she mirrored question themselves, question their perception, question whether what they experienced was even real. And that questioning is actually part of the design, because a person who is busy questioning themselves is not busy exposing the mirror. And then the Queen of Swords reversed, which is the weaponized intelligence card. And what this card is telling me is that she is sharp, genuinely sharp, and she uses that sharpness not to cut through to truth, but to cut people subtly in ways that leave them feeling diminished without being able to point to exactly what happened. The Queen of Swords reversed is the master of the comment that sounds like a compliment, the question that sounds like curiosity, the observation that sounds like care, but lands like a blade. And you are standing there afterward, trying to figure out why you suddenly feel smaller when nothing obviously bad was said. Chapter 2, what is happening to her now? Pulling 4 cards for what the universe is doing in her life right now. As the spiritual protection lifts, the Tower, Justice, the 5 of Cups, and the 9 of Swords. Okay, the Tower, Justice, the 5 of Cups, and the 9 of Swords for what is happening to her right now. Let me really walk through each of these. The Tower first. And I want to describe what the Tower actually looks like as an experience, because I think it is important. The Tower is not one big dramatic thing, although sometimes it is that too. But often the Tower is a series of things going wrong in quick succession, in a way that feels connected, in a way that feels like something has shifted in the universe and it is no longer on my side. And for her, the Tower is showing me that the structures she built, the network of mirrors she has been operating, the relationships she cultivated for strategic reasons, the reputation she carefully maintained, are all starting to show their instability at the same time. Like things that we're holding are releasing, and the ground beneath her is no longer solid. And what makes this particular tower so significant is that it is spiritual in origin. It is not just bad luck. It is the withdrawal of a protection that was allowing her to operate without consequence. And when that protection lifts, the consequences that were always owed arrive. And then justice. Oh, justice sitting right there beside the tower. And justice is the universe's way of saying this is not chaos, this is not random. This is a correction, a precise, deliberate, inevitable correction. And what justice in this position is showing me is that every interaction she had with you, everything she took, every mirror she held up, every way she benefited from your openness, your trust, your genuine love is being weighed right now by scales that do not lie and do not make exceptions and do not accept excuses. And what is being weighed is heavy, and what is being returned to her is proportional to every ounce of that weight. And then the Five of Cups, which is loss, grief, the experience of watching things drain away. And for her, in this position, the Five of Cups is showing me the specific losses she is experiencing right now. People who believed the mirror are starting to see through it. Relationships she invested in strategically are becoming unavailable to her. The warmth she could reliably extract from certain people is being withdrawn. And what is interesting about the Five of Cups for someone like her is that she has to feel these losses genuinely for the first time because she has been so practiced at not really feeling anything that when feeling is forced, it is overwhelming and disorienting, and she does not have the tools to handle it. And then the Nine of Swords, which is the Sleepless Nights card, the Anxious Thoughts card, and this is her inner reality right now. She is not sleeping. She is lying awake, running through everything, trying to figure out what shifted, where it went wrong, who knows what she can still control. And I want to say something about this because I think it is important. The Nine of Swords is not comfortable. It is not a punishment you watch from the outside. It is an internal experience that is genuinely difficult. And while I do not say this to make you feel sorry for her, I say it to make you understand that what is happening is real and it is significant, and it is the direct consequence of how she chose to operate in the world. Chapter 3. What this means for you, pulling 5 cards now for your path forward, your healing, and your destination. The Star, the High Priestess, the Ace of Cups, the Empress, and the World. Oh, okay. So the Star, the High Priestess, the Ace of Cups, the Empress, and the World, for what this means for you going forward. I mean, this is extraordinary. Let me walk through every single card. The Star first, which is healing, real healing, and what this card is telling me about what is coming for you is that the specific kind of wound that soul mirroring creates, the confusion, the self-questioning, the wondering if you can trust your own perception, is being healed, and the Star heals things in a very specific way. It does not pretend the wound was not there. It does not rush you past it. It sits with you in the dark and pours light into the exact place that hurts. And it does this until the wound does not hurt the same way anymore, until there is scar tissue that is stronger than the skin that was there before. And that is what is happening for you right now. And then the High Priestess and this card in your outcome position is so significant because the High Priestess is the card of discernment, of the ability to see what is real and what is performance, of the inner knowing that does not get fooled twice. And what this card is telling me is that you are coming out of this experience with a level of spiritual discernment that you did not have going in. Like the High Priestess sees through mirrors, she always has, and you are becoming her, which means that what happened with this woman is actually building something in you that will protect you for the rest of your life. And then the Ace of Cups, a brand new emotional beginning, a fresh, overflowing cup of real, genuine feeling. And what this card is telling me is that the emotional world that was distorted by the mirroring is clearing, and what is coming in to fill the space where the mirror was is real, authentic, honest connection, the kind that does not need to study you, the kind that just sees you, actually sees you, and chooses you, not because you are useful, but because you are irreplaceable. And that quality of connection is what the Ace of Cups is bringing into your life now. And then the Empress, you in your full power, your full radiance, your full goddess self, completely undiminished by everything that happened. And the Empress in your outcome position is the universe saying none of what she did took anything from you permanently. You were never diminished. You were only temporarily obscured by the presence of her mirror. And now that the mirror is gone, the obscuring is gone, and what is visible is you, all of you, the warmth, the depth, the beauty, the radiance, the love, all of it fully visible, fully present, fully yours to give to people who deserve it. And then the World as the final card, the world, completion, wholeness, the highest destination in the tarot. And what the World sitting at the end of this reading is saying is that this entire experience, the mirroring, the confusion, the loss of the illusion, the grief of it, and now the lifting of the veil, the restoration, the healing, all of it is part of a story that ends in wholeness, that ends in you fully integrated, fully yourself, fully arrived at the life that was always meant to be yours. And not a single step of this journey was wasted. Okay, tea leaf cards now, and I am pulling 6 because I want to be as specific as possible. The first tea leaf card is shattered glass. Shattered glass, which is the mirror fully broken, not cracked, not cracking, shattered. And what this card is showing me is that there is no going back to the illusion. The mirror is broken completely, and once glass shatters, you cannot reassemble it, and you cannot pretend that the reflection is still intact. The shattering is done, and what is on the other side of it is the truth, clear and unobstructed. The next tea leaf card is roots growing deeper, which is such a beautiful image. And what this card is telling me is that you, as a result of everything you have been through, are becoming more rooted, more grounded, more anchored in who you actually are. And roots that grow deep cannot be uprooted by surface level attacks, cannot be destabilized by someone else's mirror, cannot be fooled by a reflection, because a deeply rooted person knows what is real, because they know who they are, and the roots that are growing in you right now are going to make you genuinely unmovable in the best possible way. The next tea leaf card is a candle she cannot blow out. Oh, a candle she cannot blow out. This is so powerful because this image is about your light, specifically your light that she tried to dim by making you question yourself, by making you wonder if your perception was real, by creating confusion around who you were. And she literally could not extinguish it. And this tea leaf card is the universe confirming that your light is still burning. It was always still burning. And no mirror, no matter how sophisticated, no matter how strategic, can put out a light that comes from a genuine source. The next tea leaf card is scales tipping in your favor. Scales tipping in your favor, and I love this image so much because the scales in this tea leaf card are not still, they are mid-tip. Like you can see the movement, you can see things shifting in real time. And what this card is showing me is that the balance between what you gave and what you received, between what was taken from you and what is being restored, is actively shifting right now. You can feel it. Maybe you have already been feeling it. That subtle sense that things are finally moving in your direction. The next tea leaf card is a door she cannot follow you through. A door she cannot follow you through. And this is one of the most specific and important tea leaf cards we have pulled today because it is showing me that where you are going, the places that are opening up for you, the opportunities, the connections, the version of your life that is being built right now, she does not have access to. Like the door that is opening for you has a spiritual requirement at the threshold that she cannot meet. Authenticity, genuine feeling, real love. And because what she carries is none of those things, she literally cannot follow you through this particular door. You are going somewhere that the mirror cannot go. And the last tea leaf card is sunrise with no shadow. Sunrise with no shadow. And what I love about this specific image is that it is sunrise, which we know represents a new beginning, but it is sunrise with no shadow, and a shadow requires something to block the light. And what this final tea leaf card is saying is that what is coming for you is not just a new day. It is a new day where nothing is blocking the light, where there is no mirror distorting it, no shadow creating confusion, just clean, unobstructed, full sunrise light falling directly on you. Okay, final messages from your guides. 6 cards, because they have so much to say today. You were never the problem. You were always the prize. You were never the problem. You were always the prize. And I want this to be the first thing your guides say, because I think it is the thing that soul mirroring most tries to make you forget. Like part of how it works is that it subtly makes you feel like the issues that arose were somehow caused by something in you, like your openness was the problem, your depth was the problem, your genuine desire for real connection was the problem, and your guides are saying none of that was the problem. All of that is the prize, and she knew it, which is exactly why she targeted it. The next final card is real love cannot be mirrored. Real love cannot be mirrored. And this message is so important because it is making a distinction between what she gave you and what is coming for you. Real love, the kind that is coming, cannot be manufactured, cannot be performed, cannot be strategically deployed. It is not a reflection of what you need. It is something that exists independently in the person who feels it, and it is offered freely without agenda. And what your guides are saying is that you are going to know the difference now in a way you did not before, because you have felt the mirror, and now you will be able to feel what is real. The next final card is Your discernment is your superpower now. Your discernment is your superpower now. And I love this so much because it takes the most painful thing about this experience, the fact that you were mirrored, the fact that you were fooled, and transforms it into the most powerful gift, because what you have developed through having to figure out what was real and what was not is a level of spiritual discernment that most people never develop. You can now feel in your body, in your gut, in your energy field, the difference between someone who is genuine and someone who is performing. And that ability is going to protect you for the rest of your life and guide you toward the people who are actually worth your energy. The next final card is the universe always protected you even when you did not know it. The universe always protected you even when you did not know it. And I want to sit with this for a moment because I think this is going to be healing for some of you. There were probably moments during the time you were being mirrored where you felt very alone, very unseen by the divine, very like, why is this happening? Why was I not protected from this? And your guides are saying, you always were. Because while the mirror was in your life, the universe was also limiting her access. There were things she tried to do that did not work. There were doors she tried to open in your life that stayed closed. There were moments when things she intended for harm did not land the way she planned because something was standing between you and the full impact, and you are only now able to see that. The next final card is everything she took is being returned with interest. Everything she took is being returned with interest. And I love the word interest here because it is so specific, not just returned with interest, meaning what comes back to you is more than what was taken. The energy she extracted comes back as abundance. The trust she exploited comes back as discernment. The love she mirrored comes back as the real thing. The confidence she slowly chipped away comes back as unshakable self-knowledge. Everything with interest, all of it coming back to you. And the very last card, you are walking into the most authentic season of your life. You are walking into the most authentic season of your life. And I want to close on this because it is the complete opposite of everything this reading started with. It started with a mirror, something that reflects, something that shows you an image of something that is not quite real. And it ends with authenticity, the most authentic season of your life. Like everything that is coming for you now is real. The people, the connections, the opportunities, the love, the joy, all of it is the genuine article. No mirrors, no performances, no reflections, just real life in full color, belonging entirely to you. So just to wrap everything up, the message of this reading is so complete and so layered. The woman who mirrored your soul just lost her spiritual protection. And that means the tower is in her life. Justice is weighing everything she did. The 9 of Swords is her knights, and the 5 of Cups is her losses. She is experiencing, in real time, the withdrawal of the universe's patience with the way she has been operating. And you are getting the Star, the High Priestess, the Ace of Cups, the Empress, the World, roots growing deeper, a candle she cannot blow out, a door she cannot follow you through, and a sunrise with no shadow. You are being healed. You are being restored. You are being elevated, and you are walking into the most authentic season of your life. You were never the problem. You were always the prize. And now the universe is making sure Everyone can see that. I hope this reading gave you something today that went beyond what you expected. I hope it gave you language for something you have been carrying without words for. And I hope it gave you peace, real peace about where you are and where you are going. Please take good care of yourself. Please trust your discernment. Please let the roots grow deeper. Please walk through the door she cannot follow you through. And please step into the sunrise that has no shadow. If this resonated with you, please, please, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow and it helps these messages reach more people who need them. Leave me a comment and tell me how this one felt, because I think this reading hit differently and I want to hear how it landed for you. And do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss anything new. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. You are so much more powerful than the mirror ever let you see. And now the mirror is gone, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye, loves.